You owe me 36 cents. Now why does 36 cents matter to anyone? Women make 64 cents to a man's every dollar. This isn't fair to anyone. I remember first hearing of the wage gap when I was little, around 3rd grade or so. And then one day I remember asking my mom if it was real after she had just gotten off work and was cooking supper. She looked at me and she said, "Oh, it's real." Today, I'm here to educate you about one of society's issues and get you to care about other issues we face. Today, I will be going over what the wage gap is, how the wage gap affects mental health, and why you should care. Okay, moving into what the wage gap is. According to the Economic Policy Institute, the gender wage gap is a measure of what women are paid relative to men. The current gender pay ratio is 79.6%. So this means for every $1 a man makes, a woman makes about 80 cents. In 1960, women made 60 cents to a man's every dollar, and 1960 was 61 years ago. Now, what are some causes of the gender wage gap? According to Robin Belize, a research associate for the Women's Initiative at American Progress, the funneling of men and women into different jobs and industries based on gender norms and expectations, such as women being childcare workers and then men having jobs in building and construction. Another cause of the gender wage gap is discrimination. There are still jobs today that gravitate more towards men than women. Gender-based pay discrimination has been illegal since 1963 when John F. Kennedy passed the Equal Pay Act of 1963. 1963 was 58 years ago. There's legislation about this issue, and yet it still happens. Now, how does the wage gap affect mental health? A lot of our self-esteem and self-confidence is derived from our work. I know I spend a lot of time and I put a lot of energy into my workplace. It's upsetting to think that we are undervalued and underappreciated. But what better indication of this is there than our paychecks? A 2016 study from Columbia University looked at the mental health consequences of the gender wage gap. And they found when a woman makes the same or more than her male counterpart, their likelihood of experiencing anxiety and depression is about the same. But when a woman makes less than her male counterpart, she is 2.4 times more likely to experience depression and 4 times more likely to experience anxiety. Now, women tend to assume the bulk of household duties, which are unpaid, like cleaning, shopping for groceries, managing schedules, and everything like that. So, and women spend 241 minutes per day on these tasks, while men usually only spend around 145. Now, why should you care? Us all sitting in this theater today, we may not all think that there is a gender wage gap. But I encourage you to do research and find what you truly believe about this topic, or any other social topic there is. Us as humans, we are divided over what we even think are issues. Now, no matter what you believe about this topic or any other topic, all I want you to do is try to change them. According to the World Economic Forum, the gender wage gap will take 202 years to close. 202 years is a long time, over a century. But us as a generation, we are a brilliant generation. We have brought awareness to everything from racial injustice, climate change, gun violence, anything you can think of. And I remember last semester when we were assigned a definition slash analogy paper. The word I chose to define was feminism, another issue relating to our society. I don't know if you've noticed, but I try to care a lot about the defects within our society and try to change them, and I voice my opinion about them. So no matter what you think is an issue or not, I just encourage you to care. You don't have to specifically change something or voice your opinion, but all I ask is that you care. Yeah. Now, today we've gone over what the wage gap is, how the wage gap affects mental health, and lastly, I've tried to reach out and encourage you to care about other issues we face as a society. Whether you think the gender wage gap is real or not, All I ask of you is that you care about humanity's issues so we can improve our world as a whole. Now, 36 cents is important, and I hope you realize that too.